Welcome to New South Wales Ants. Do you guys remember my last episode of the Iridomyrmex sisters' first nanetics? Well, you remember the Dark Souls and how they only had 2 queens left? Well, I have some news for you guys. And it involves Athena. Everything looks fine in there now, but about 2 days ago, it was crazy. You have to watch the very end of this video. I don't think I can look at these ants the same again. But for positive news, let's check out Scarlet. She now has 7 ants. She's got 6 with her and 1 down here. So she's doing really well. But let me show you the story of a brood boost gone wrong. The Dark Souls. This is how I found them. One ant was dragging one queen to the opposite side of their test tube. I don't know how she died, but I have got some suspicion about things with mold. And here's the other queen, right next to all the brood. But I had a certain colony in mind that I wanted to give the brood to. It didn't look like these ants were going to try and feed the queens to the pupae or anything, so I wanted to remove them and probably try brood boost one of my other colonies. It's like, look how this ant's manhandling this queen. She really doesn't like her. I swear, poor queens. Has anyone else had this happen to them? I don't know if you guys can see all the mold and dead ants and legs all on the cotton and stuff, but let's see if this queen is really dead. There's a bit of mold on the test tube, and I'm going to try and move the test tube around to see if I can get a good view of trying to rotate this test tube. Whoops. Yeah, I think she's dead. It's like they're making one ant do all the work of dragging the queens. So, after they dragged both the queens to the other side of the test tube, I decided to get them ready to boost one of my other colonies. Queen 1, or dead Queen 1. And then we have the Queen 2, or dead Queen 2. So do you think they killed themselves, or do you think their daughters killed them? What do you guys reckon in the comments? But I just want to say, they are not alone. As I was recording this video, I noticed something that I did not notice before. Tell me if you see it. I'm going to do a close-up of these pupae, and it's just above the pupae, a little fly. It's about the same size as a fruit fly or a phorid fly. But here is Athena. And that little fly down at the bottom. Let's do a replay close up. Does anyone know what that is? I would love to know what that is. Do you think whatever it is, it could have contributed towards possibly killing the Dark Souls? But let's talk about merging these colonies. I was thinking Athena because she's one of my most mature colonies that I have. And both the ants look really similar, so I don't know, I thought it would be a good idea to give it a go. Like, I accidentally moved her into this nest, and it's so big. It's got an outworld and everything. So I'm going to attach the test tube of the Dark Souls to the outworld. And then I was going to see how these ants interact, and if there's any bad sort of behavior, I was going to separate them. So let's start with removing the dead queens. And I promise you, I was being very gentle. Even though they are dead, This one gets a bit yucky. Sorry for that. Look how this fly comes up and investigates. Okay, so now we just got to go and clean up that little spill I did. Now just to put the cotton back on and prepare the test tube. We'll start by removing the plug on the side. Then we'll grab our piece of technology and then just jam her right in there. Yeah, get nice and tight like. Then it's time for the ants. Grab your test tube, remove the cotton. If there's any bit of debris in there, may as well get it out now before you set it all up. Yeah, just make it all like clean like, you know, like. And then try to put it in gently, probably more gentle than me, you know. Don't want the ants to go into a bit of a killing frenzy. But just wait a second, I forgot that fly in there. Oh man, I'm gonna have to redo this and take it out. Look at that little fly, it haunts me. So if that is a phorid fly, it's there because of filth. But if it is a fruit flies have red eyes, but vinegar flies have black eyes and look just like fruit flies. But I don't remember putting vinegar in there, unless something that the queens have eaten has fermented in their gaster. But for now we're going to watch these holes. We're going to see if anyone goes in or out and see what happens. Oh, there we go. I swear I just saw one go in there. I'm not going crazy. Every time I turn the camera away, they go in there or they come out of there. It's devastating. I can't get a good shot. I'll leave it here. And we'll see if we can catch something. Here we go. We got something. Someone's coming out. Yeah, I see them. They're down at the honey, having a drink. Athena's troops are sussing her out and not really doing much. And it does not look like the Dark Soul sisters are really running away or anything. So this could actually end positive, is what I thought. So you get to see this little one running around. She goes down to the bottom left corner where all their waste is. Let's just check on their brood and stuff and see if any of the Athena's troops have gone into there. As you can see, I got rid of that pesky fly, and there's one ant missing. Oh, I think it just came back inside. There he is. Oh, she, sorry. So we had one go venture out and explore already, and she came back alive with honey. Athena's troops, they're not really swarming the outworld. This is the point where I started getting high hopes that this could potentially work. Checked inside Athena's nest, everything seemed pretty good. They seem to just be doing their same old thing. Just so you all know, this is sped up by ×2. So if they seem like they're running around crazy, they're not really running around that crazy. So what do you guys reckon? Are they preparing for war? Is there any telltale signs that we should be looking for? Let me know in the comments down below. I stayed with them for a good hour or two, just to see the result and to see how they were doing. And there was no real aggression in between both of them. I even zoomed in on the Dark Souls and saw how full their gasters were with honey. All was well in Athena's castle, and no war was breaking out. I was quite concerned about the colouring of the Dark Souls' pupae. They were quite orangey. I didn't know if it was a different species thing, or whatever killed the queen could have infected them, possibly. But if you guys have encountered this before or know anything about this, please feel free to comment and let me know. Because I'm thinking it could be a fungus growing from the cotton inside of their test tube where the water is. It's really moldy. But let's go back into the outworld. I think the Dark Souls have gone back out there. And I think it just ran into Athena's nest. Or is they on the cricket? Because I kid you not, they're going mental in there at the moment. Wait, is that ant on the cricket gonna go back in the nest? Oh wait, dude. Oh jeez. Oh wait, the Dark Soul just ran back to her nest. Okay, she be freaking out now. I think she's freaking out to her other sister as well. Maybe she's freaking out because they just found the colony? I'm really hoping that this is excitement, or this is what I was thinking, that it was excitement. So I was starting to get pretty happy. I was like, oh sweet, I'm brood boosting and it's working. Finally, I'm brood boosting something called Dark Souls and it's not actually killing itself. So the Dark Souls have gone out to feed and they've returned to their nest and checked out Hera's nest. But as we look into the outworld, Hera isn't really responding that aggressively. I'm pretty sure that's one of Hera's ants crawling around the front entrance of the Dark Souls nest. Looks like she's marking a trail and leading it back to her nest. This is where I was really hoping, oh, I hope you guys really merge as one. They look so chilled out right now. They're not frightened or anything. This is on double speed as well, ×2, so they're moving very slowly. They don't really seem threatened by the Dark Souls. But only time can tell. I'm gonna have to wait and find out. So I think it's a good idea to leave these guys for a little bit and check on them later. So I quickly went and I had something to eat. Well, I waited.
11 minutes later.
And this is what I came back to, guys. I came back to complete and utter chaos. I found this one ant getting ripped apart by all of Athena's workers, nibbling at her joints. They begin to start cutting her into pieces. This is crazy to watch. Watch how one of Athena's workers are just holding it by the head or back of the neck, and the other one cuts into it and then the head pops off. Then they do the same with the body and then cut off the gaster. Then they're left playing tug of war with the legs that were in the middle. All of their brood is just scattered all over the nest. Dude, is that hardening ant still alive? Yeah, this was a pretty bad idea. At least Hera's doing great. She's not freaking out or anything. Her workers are true killers. But seriously, look at that little baby ant just wiggling its legs. It can't even walk yet. Oh, they're gonna start eating it now? Oh yeah, looks like she's gonna chew on it. So, this is a little message to everyone out there. Be careful when mixing your ants or upping your brood, because they do kill each other and they'll kill the children as well. Look how that ant's dragging the other body to the corner and the head's left there and they just play around with it. There's a few baby ants that haven't even hardened yet. The queen and workers are investigating that little ant. I wonder if they were trying to feed it to the queen, possibly. Maybe for protein, for eggs. I'm not too sure. But this is crazy. Look, eggs are scattered everywhere, everything. It looks like they have another ant body to play with here. They might start tearing this one apart as well. I see they haven't got that little hardening ant yet. You can almost see the body still twitching from the Dark Soul ants. Maybe that's why they continuously attack it. Here we have a downwards view. Now I'm not too sure if these ants are trying to raise these pupae so they can keep it for longer, because it will be like more of a longer duration of food source. I just want to say that's pretty messed up. That's like cannibalism to another level. You're raising your own kind as stock to eat. because all that pupae from the Dark Souls is in the nest. This is the rubbish dump of the nest. Look at that ant trying to formic spray. So where those two ants are at the top, that is the rubbish dump of the nest. And this must be where they're processing all their food and feeding their larvae, I'm guessing. I can see they're doing their best not to mix up their brood and eggs with Athena's. But the outworld seems very, very quiet. And the test tube is completely empty except for one of Athena's workers. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys have had this sort of experience with another colony where you tried to mix the brood and it failed. I'd love to hear your story. Let me know down in the comments. So, I'm pretty good at making mistakes, so you guys don't have to. You guys can learn from my mistakes and not have to make them. So I'm guessing the different color of the pupae was a good giveaway that this could have been a different species, or it could have been that it was just infected in some way or form. So I'm seeing lots of scattered bodies of the Dark Souls, plus I have not seen them eat any of the pupae yet. Looks like one pupae is in the trash bowl. Let's get some close up. Let's have a close up of them munching on her head. It was hard to get my lighting in a good position for me to get this shot. Like I said, they're just playing around with the body. I don't even know if they're eating it or trying to. It kind of looked like it was trying to suck the brains out of that one. Even on the side of the wall, there's two of them playing around with the third body, and they've moved more pupae over to the left. Wait a second. Do you guys see what I see? Are they nibbling on... Look, there's 4 of them. There's 2, one on each side of what I think it could be a pupae. God damn, zoom, bloody work properly. Catch them. Dude, that is so a pupae. Not only are they eating the pupae, look at that one, tearing apart one of the hardening Dark Souls. There is no mercy from the Athenas. Do you guys reckon they're going to try and use some like cattle and raise them slowly while eating them? That would be pretty interesting. I'll keep you guys updated and tell you what happens. This is the death of a queen and the death of a colony. What a shame. I feel devastated it had to come to this. And it was a pretty bad ending for the colony after they lost their queen. Look at them, still formic spraying the body on the wall. Oh, dude, that one's formic spraying the little pupae. This is definitely not how I wanted it to turn out. But I had to stop and go have something to eat, I guess you could say, at the wrong time. So now we have a story behind Athena. Her colony has now swallowed up the Dark Souls. Next, I'll be showing you guys my nests. To be continued.